Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. We have some excitement tonight. Some good excitement for a change. Bitcoin is above 17,000. What's going on with Bitcoin? What's going on with crypto? Is this real? Let's talk about it. And also, let's talk about why Coinbase, at least Coinbase Wallet, all of a sudden is delisting XRP and other crypto. What do they know? What are they hiding? Well, let's discuss this as well. Welcome, 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 guys. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Bitcoin pumped above this trend line, and it's above 17,000. Look at that. Look at that. On a 15-minute scale, boom, they just went up. You go on a 1-hour scale, boom, they just went up past all these lines, right? So, pretty good. Pretty good. I'll get to more of this in a little bit, but let's talk about some of the other stuff going on. Let's start out with the bad, okay? Or maybe not so bad. Depends on how you look at it. Coinbase has their own self-custody wallet called Coinbase Wallet. It's actually a fantastic wallet. You don't have to be a Coinbase customer to use it. It's very much like the Trust Wallet as a dApp marketplace, and you can store all of your ERC20 tokens and some that are not ERC20 tokens. But they all of a sudden decided to release this, that due to low activity on Coinbase Wallet starting in January 2023, which is roughly a month from now, they will be cutting off delisting Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Stellar, and XRP. These routine evaluations allow us to continue to invest in new features that make Web3 more accessible. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Once you have programmed, once you already programmed your wallet to support these chains, it's not like there's a whole lot of maintenance and time and manpower dedicated to it. It's already there working. So I think this is BS. I really think it's BS. I think there's something else brewing that they know and they're not releasing. First of all, it makes a whole lot of sense that if Coinbase Wallet is stopping support for these 4 coins, most likely they're going to remove these from Coinbase. And we know XRP has already been delisted, so that's one already. But Bitcoin Cash, okay, a lot of controversy Bitcoin Cash. Coinbase back in the day, a lot of insider trading, a lot of insider stuff, shenanigans happening with Bitcoin Cash after it forked out. But right now, these days, no one, literally no one on the planet is talking about Bitcoin Cash, so delisting it would not be a big deal. Ethereum Classic, some people still talk about it. Charles Hoskinson gave up on it. I told you guys, I don't know what the future is for Ethereum Classic, but they seem to be all over the place. So I think they will probably get delisted. And Stellar is actually out of the 4. I think they're actually pretty good. Outside of XRP, I do think that there's a lot of potential there, but again, they don't seem to have a sole direction. They don't seem to know if they want to stay in the payment space or move into the dApp space or go into the stablecoin space. They've talked about going all of it, right? But a lot of people do use XLM for transfer between exchanges. But I think so that I think that's coming. But beyond that, I think there's something else. Coinbase talks with the SEC, right? So I think they have a heads up on potential project that the SEC could be going after next, okay? So, of course, they kind of have to hide it, and they can't reveal it. So I think this is why they're starting it. You got to pay attention. You got to pick up on these things. So can BCH be seen as a security? Well, yeah, because it was a contentious hard fork basically caused by 2 people and basically done because they wanted to see it as a big cash grab, right? So BCH, Bitcoin Cash, can it be seen as a security? Yeah. Ethereum Classic, well, that was the original Ethereum. So we know the SEC, or at least Gary, wants to declare Ethereum as a security. And if they do so, well, then Ethereum Classic is going to be deemed as security. But Gary has not made that official yet. He's been hinting that, but he has not made that official. So that may be why Coinbase is a little weary about Ethereum Classic. Now, Stellar is very similar to XRP. Started by basically same co-founder, Jeb McCaleb. right? And there was a big ICO involved as well. So can Stellar be seen as security? Yes, it can, especially since XRP is being sued for that very reason. So I think there's more at play for this. So I know that this is not a big thing. This is just Coinbase wallet. It's not Coinbase. But I think there's more to the story than meets the eye. So I just want to point this out, right? But if you're confused about why XRP is among these four, right, and why they're in this lawsuit with Ripple, I do have a very educational video for you guys that I'll show at the very end of this stream. So make sure you stay until the end of the stream to see it. I promise you it's worth your time. It's the most educational video you ever see about XRP and Ripple. All right, so I did want to start out with that. But that's the bad. What's the good? What caused Bitcoin to go up today? Well, there's many reasons. I can't tell you exactly why, but we had some good stuff happen. For example, Brazil, legislation or legislators or regulators basically approved Bitcoin to be used as payment within Brazil, one of the largest countries on earth with hundreds of millions of people. Okay, so it's not officially in effect yet because the president's not to sign it, but most likely it's going to be signed and approved. Okay, so this is a big step in terms of Bitcoin going global. It already is, but there's still a lot of countries, a lot of cities, right? You know, everyone's kind of winging it. They don't know how to classify it. They don't know how to regulate it, right? But all these big countries are starting to realize, hey, we're just gonna be behind or be left in the dust if we don't act upon this. Bitcoin and crypto is not gonna go away. This is not like 2015 or 2018 when governments and all these naysayers were still saying Bitcoin and crypto are going to zero. There are giant Ponzi schemes like the Tulip bubble. No one says that anymore, other than Jamie Dimon. Everyone recognizes that that's not the case. Bitcoin, crypto, decentralization, Web 3.0, wallets, DeFi are here to stay. So you got to embrace it, right? So this could be the reason why Bitcoin all of a sudden pumped above 17,000. That is fantastic news. Fantastic news. But also, what could be the driver of this is simply Bitcoin is ready to move. I've shown you guys so many charts and indicators and on-chain models and everything that's telling you guys that Bitcoin is dirt cheap, dirt low, at pretty much an all-time low, oversold levels on so many different things, right? So that could just be the reason, because you have people or whales that just decided, hey, this was the time to buy. Let's just buy some and DCA, right? I mean, there's so many of these that's showing how oversold Bitcoin is, either at previous lows, previous oversold levels from previous cycles, or even below those levels, right? There's so many of these. So that could be it. That could be it. Also, there's a third reason, but I'll get to that at the end of the stream too. So there is macro stuff that could be driving this forward too. So there's several reasons why it could be moving. So overall, pretty good. You know, if you're worried about inflation, this is a good chart. If you're worried about inflation, right, look at the inflation rate for Bitcoin and then look at the inflation rate for everything else. This is ultimately why we need to stay in Bitcoin, why it's the ultimate hedge against inflation, why it's the ultimate store of value, you know, all that I've been talking about for quite some time. But, you know, Bitcoin since the inception, you know, the inflation rate has been going down. And it's been cut in half with all these halving events. Okay? So, obviously, you could see happened in 2013, happened in 2016, happened in 2020, the next one, 2024, right? And you could see what's been happening with the price, how it correlates with these halving events. So, every other currency on the planet, every single fiat, USD, yen, euro, sterling, franc, whatever else there is, okay? They all inflate infinitely. There's no set supply. Government could do whatever they want, whenever they want. That's why we have high inflation right now, because governments around the world overprinted a little bit too much, right? But you're not going to have that problem with Bitcoin. It's controlled by code. No one can change this. And there is a set supply. And the inflation rate keeps dropping in half every 4 years. So as global adoption continues to happen, as more people DCA and buy into crypto, and as the supply keeps diminishing, especially now, look at how much Bitcoin has been taken off the exchanges. Supply is dropping like a rock, right? This is why we need to continue forward and hold old Bitcoin. It just is, the best way to put it is Satoshi created such a perfect system if you think about it. If he or she or the group is still around, they would be very, very proud, right? Just a really elegant, nice, perfect solution. All right, so far so good, right? Other than the Coinbase stuff, I got some macro stuff to talk about, but before that, I do have to talk about the most hated person in crypto right now, and that is FTX or SBF. FTX, SBS. It's similar. It's basically the same. So tomorrow there will be a big interview. SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, will be talking at this New York Times Deal Book Summit, being interviewed live, okay? The one person everyone is going to be paying attention to. What is he going to say? We don't know. Is he even going to show up? Is he even going to go on a Zoom meeting? Or is he flying in? We don't know. Last time, like a few days ago, he said on Twitter that he was. Well, I just realized I don't have my camera on. Sorry. It's okay. I was hiding out, smoking some weed. So he was hiding out like I was. And he said, well, I'm not going to hide anymore. I'm going to do this interview. So we'll see. We'll see if he shows up tomorrow. Okay, we'll see if he shows up tomorrow. But in the meantime, he has been doing some secret little interviews with people. Okay, he interviewed with Axios, which he said, hey, I don't even know how much money I have. Last time I checked, I have $100,000 in my bank account. Right, so we're talking about like 20-something billion dollars down to $100,000. Okay, maybe he has a lot more hiding on his ledger or something. We don't know, but he's basically saying that he lost it all. He also did an interview with another vlogger, Tiffany Fong, in which he admitted that he's not even a coder. He doesn't even know anything about code. So he's never opened up FTX code. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. And this interview was before like everything got really, really bad. But basically he was trying to explain things like, I don't know what happened with the hack. I don't know what happened to the system, right? We know it's been speculated one of the insiders took that $500 million out. SBF is trying to say, I don't know anything about code, try to divert the blame away from him once again, right? And then he's like, yeah, FTT had real value, but it's embarrassing. Given my background, I should have known what could have happened. And basically, he was admitting that he just doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So he's trying to paint. So I think we're trying to figure out is whether or not he is really this guy, or he's so smart that he's just trying to paint himself to be an incompetent person. Because being incompetent doesn't make you guilty, right? But in a court of law, if they can prove that he had intent, he actually knew what he was doing, hiding and using personal assets, right, to fill the mistakes that he and Caroline and everyone else made, right? That's different. Then you could be charged for that. You could get serious jail time, right? So is he like a really smart, evil, genius villain that's trying to paint himself as this goofball, incompetent leader that really didn't know what the hell he was doing and somehow fell into becoming a billionaire by accident? or is he just playing dumb, right? So I think it's the latter. I don't think this is anything. Is like it just happened, okay? But you know, a lot of people want to know. A lot of people want to know. You know, the Texas regulators want to interview him too, right? A lot of people are calling for his extradition back to the U.S. to face some of these juries and, you know, regulators to answer for these, I guess, questions or charges. But, you know, we'll see. We will see. And supposedly whoever the hacker is, probably like Gary or the other guy that's on the team, right, is still trying to figure out how to transfer the stolen funds out. They sent some to OKX. Luckily, people have discovered that, so OKX most likely is going to shut that down. But, you know, they stole so much and everyone's tracking their addresses. It's just really hard for them to cash out at this point. So it's almost like they should just give up. They're only making things worse, really. All right. Outside of this, any good news? Well, Gemini, you know, Gemini's been very quiet. Obviously, they've been burned recently with their connection with Genesis because their Gemini earn was based on Genesis. So there is definitely a lot of fear about Gemini, but they did just release their kind of like proof of reserves, right? Showcasing how much they have. And they have way more than I think most people anticipated. 4.6 billion in crypto assets with 601 million to back their stablecoin, their GUSD. So it seems like they do have quite a lot of assets, more than KuCoin, more than Crypto.com, more than Huobi, right? So they definitely have a lot of assets. So far, seems like they're okay. But of course, this whole Genesis thing, this connection, Gemini earn, not a good look. Not a good look. Again, due to the contagion spreading. All right, and the last thing that could be driving Bitcoin up, I said there's three things, right? The last thing is macro stuff, economic stuff. In the U.S., we're getting more and more indication that inflation may be tapering out and coming down. So you have the New York Fed president, John Williams, saying that inflation, in his mind, will fall to low 5s this year and low 3s next year. I mean, that's pretty bullish news. People want to hear this, right? And if this is true, well, then, of course, Powell does not have to be so hawkish with his rate hikes. So this could also be a driver. And tomorrow, Powell will be speaking. This is not the official FOMC meeting, press release meeting. This is just him deciding to talk. It's never good when he talks because people really scrutinize what he says and tries to, you know, kind of read in between the lines and stuff, right? And Powell does not have an easy job. He has to make sure everything he says is super, super, super careful because, again, people will try to read in between the lines and stuff. But many people are estimating that the December rate hike will come in lower. And if inflation really does start coming down, well, then the January one and the next year and the one after that will become even lower, right? So this could definitely be good. Also, we have a lot of economic data coming out tomorrow and Thursday. Could all point to the same thing, slowness in the government and the economy, which could boost things up by, well, that sounds like it doesn't make sense. It could boost up, it could boost up the markets because people are anticipating Powell's going to become more dovish and hawkish. Good stuff. Good stuff. And let's not forget other good stuff. Fidelity, they just came out right here on the side. I don't know if you guys see it. Fidelity just came out with their own crypto exchange. So adoption is definitely going to grow, right? So a lot of good stuff happening right now. This is why you need to be in the game and you don't want to get feared out of the market. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. Will Powell arrive to the meeting in Lambo? He may be driving a Lambo. We don't know. We don't get a view into the parking lot. BTC, today was a good day. Mexico. will win next, I'm assuming. El Salvador getting debt. BTC will be owned by the rich only. Don't fire sell your assets. I agree. There's not enough Bitcoin to go around, even for the millionaires that exist on the planet. So think about that. There's more millionaires on the planet than Bitcoin. So even if every single millionaire on the planet wanted to get in on Bitcoin, at least buy one, they couldn't even do that. So think about how scarce Bitcoin really is. You hear his phone interview that just came out? Is it the one with Tiffany Fong? Is that the one you're talking about? I know this somehow came out, right? This was an interview that was conducted November 6th. I don't know if there's any other one that I missed. Where's Caroline? I don't know. I have no idea. She was in Hong Kong, so obviously she wasn't put under house arrest. She may be Dubai now. Someone says, I see XRP back to 20 cents soon. Well, Bitcoin is still holding above. So that's pretty good. I told you guys I've been messing with Lux Algo, and according to this, well, if you look up here in the top right hand corner, so this chalk thing based on the time frame, all green, which is actually, I was told, pretty good. Shows that things are looking bullish, but you could see some of these resistances even without it. You could just plot it and look at some of these recent resistances that Bitcoin has not been able to break. Like over here, you can clearly see we are at a resistant level, right? You could see this 17K mark has been very difficult for Bitcoin to break for a little bit. Okay, this is on a shorter time frame, but obviously if you break out, right, you go back all the way back to when we first dropped from 21,000 back in early November. Since we fallen down because the FTX collapse, we've been kind of stuck under the 17K mark. It's actually a pretty crucial resistance, and if we break that, we could climb back up really, really quickly, right? Unfortunately, the contagion spread, a lot of fear, a lot of people just sitting on the sidelines, right? But it's good to see that we're pressed back against that resistance. Let's see if this week we see more upward pushes and we could see more short squeezes. And who knows? In December, by the end of December, by the end of the year, maybe we get right back to $30,000. That's my hope. Let's see here. Let's see if I missed anything here. Scrolling down. Brazil adopting Bitcoin. That is good. MIT creates scammers. Yeah, it's not a good look for MIT either. If ETH becomes a security, what does that entail for its future? Probably not good things. People will get away from it. It doesn't kill them, but people will be really turned off by that. That's for sure. What was the impact of money printing for the price of Bitcoin this bull cycle? I would say a lot. Why does Bitcoin go up? Because people put money into it, right? And the money printing that was distributed, handed out, or, given as credit, as a tax deduction, whatever it may be, right? Definitely had a huge part in 2021, for sure. It's not just Bitcoin. Look at everything. Everything went up. Everyone, just bought everything. Mad Dog asked that question twice. Caroline working on getting her OnlyFans ready. That would be hilarious. On a side note, I've been trying to get my OnlyFans going too. Has not been easy. Mad Dog, how many times do I ask the same question? I'm scrolling through. You just keep repeating. Although, I mean, I'm a little behind here. Okay, a minute, George. You go to the millionaires meeting twice a year, don't you? I don't know what you're talking about. Wink, wink. I have no idea what meeting you're talking about. Wink, wink. Please give a shout out to Diva. Happy birthday, Diva. Hey George, it's Terry. After FTX crash, I'm back on my ledger. One last try. Terry, you're the one that said that you lost everything on FTX. I remember you said you're getting out. It's unfortunate. I know that sucks, but yeah. If you can, you know, pick yourself right back up, right? Don't lose focus. We all make mistakes. It's really about picking yourself back up and moving forward. So I'm glad to see you're back here. Johnny. The bear market will end when the last bull sells by. How many of us will be in the game? What's the future of CeFi? There's a lot of questions right there. Let's just go with the future of CeFi and DeFi. I think both will exist for sure. There'll be a place for both, but regulations are definitely coming to regulate both. Not all of it bad. Some of it for consumer protection, I think could be good to make sure that centralized exchanges actually do have the assets that they're supposed to have, and they don't do anything shady with it, and they don't just transfer it and you know, have a huge hole, and you know, I think that is a good thing. But I think unfortunately a lot of regulators will try to attack things that they can't see or control, like DeFi, right? So I think we're gonna have to get ready for that. Is Jeff McHale still part of XRP? Yeah, he is. He's still the guy leading the way. I don't know of any other leadership with XRP. I think it's just Jeb. Jolamas, if it wasn't for SBF, we were mid-rally. We could have been at 30K. Yes. And SBF clearly knows code. He was a quant analyst, and you need to know Python. Yeah, I think this whole thing is a setup, you know. Like this whole thing, he's trying to paint himself as being incompetent, right? Because being incompetent is not illegal. It just makes you stupid. So he's trying to paint in all these interviews, anything that he's releasing. He's pretending like, oh, you know, I didn't know people were going to listen to these interviews or it was going to be published. And he just paints this picture where he's just really incompetent. And like he doesn't know, like he just said, he doesn't know how to code. He doesn't know anything going on and all this stuff. It's just hard to believe. Like you don't fall into being a billionaire by accident. You really don't. Johnny. Congratulations. You told me that. You moved to the East Coast. So congratulations. Turkey Day was good. It was good overall. But unfortunately, it was one of those Turkey Days again where, you know, family's like, what's going on with Bitcoin, right? It seems like all these Thanksgivings have been bad, except last year's. Last year's was absolutely fantastic, but it seems like a lot of down Thanksgivings. Are you still bullish on bake or cake? Mark, sorry, I didn't see it. And Omi, I'm not bullish on any of those anymore. I'm more neutral on them. I still like Omi because I think their licensing, their patents on a lot of these trademark cartoons, trademark brands, I guess. I I think that's still going to be big for them in the future. But right now, just no one wants to spend money on NFTs. PancakeSwap is still absolutely huge. Venus, on the other hand, I don't really hear about them. I think they're still one of the biggest DeFi projects on Binance chain. But overall, I think DeFi products are good. They're utility stuff. I don't really like to hold on to them. I think holding on like L1s, L2s, they're more rewarding and there's more going on. Would you sell ETC at 70% loss to buy ETH now? Well, yeah, that's hard. That's hard. I mean, if you look at it this way, ETH is also down like 70, 80, 90%. So, you know, you're kind of getting in at both, right? I'm not telling you what to do, but here's one way to look at it. Both are down pretty much the same way. So if you think ETH has a better potential than Ethereum Classic, even though you're selling at a 70% loss and you're buying ETH, right, you're kind of just flipping one to another. And it's smarter to do that now than later when ETH is going up and Ethereum Classic is not. So that's kind of how you should look at it. But, you know, of course, you decide. How far can we go considering there will be not any more printing? Who knows? There's still a lot of trillions on the sidelines. Billions upon billions and trillions from the institutions that's waiting to enter. So definitely go very far. Elon Musk released a Twitter Blue on Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow, no, December 1st. So Thursday, he's actually revealing the semi. So he's doing some kind of semi unveil. So that could be good. And then, yeah, Twitter Blue and gold and gray. He's coming out with all these check marks. Anyone know if Fidelity will give you your own BTC wallet address? Of course. Their new product is for retail investors. So obviously, if you're going to be transferring in, they need to give you a wallet address. Is PAC going better than XRP? Well, that depends on if you're educated on XRP and whether or not you've seen my educational video. Maybe afterwards, then you'll know. Why does SBF have to donate to both Republican and Democrats? What's the reasoning? That's what he said. Everyone knows that he publicly declared he donated a lot to Democrats. And then recently in this interview, he said that one of these interviews, I think with Tiffany Fong, that he also donated equivalent amount to Republicans, but he kept that secret. How convenient, right? Now, is he like trying to cover up? It sounds like it. Like, why would you hide one side and not hide another side? So again, I think SBF is just trying to fool everyone in these interviews. So tomorrow's interview, right, with Andrew and the New York Times, right, you know, it'll be interesting to see what he says. He's probably just go play dumb again and just say, oh, it's just, I don't know what happened. It was just an accident, you know, things got out of control. He's going to paint himself as being incompetent again. So we'll see. The new World of Warcraft came out yesterday, and there are the monsters called Ripples, and their spells called Stellar Flare. Man, I have not played World of Warcraft in over 10 years. When are we getting a new Storage Wars content? You know what? I was so sad a few days ago to buy the storage unit. It was going for $50, and then I bid it and went up to hundreds. I bid it 150. I was the top bidder, and then I had to go do something. And then when I came back, I see it went up to 250. Man, some of the good storage containers, they get bidded a lot. Like, the reason why I like that one is because I detected there was a couple Air Jordans, there was a nice basketball, there was a good jersey in the background. So I figured it'd be worth at least $100, $150. But these guys go crazy. So that's why I haven't created my Storage Wars content. But look forward to that in the future. What can I read to make you feel the way I do about XRP? Well, just go do research. That's all. Just go research what they're all about. You know, the history, why Ripple was created, what the use case is, what they have been doing with it, right? Then you'll be educated in it. Kissing my 9-to-5 job goodbye after this bear market. Congratulations. What do you do? From your picture, you look like you're a young guy. But, you know, financial freedom. I know everyone's looking for life-changing wealth. But, you know, financial freedom is also pretty good, too. If you can make enough so that you could do your own thing, maybe not fully retire, but quit your job and do what you like, that in itself is a huge, huge, huge accomplishment. You should make a channel bidding on a store. That's not very exciting at all. It's all done online. You just bid on it and you wait. It's like eBay. And at last minute it starts going up. So that's not very exciting at all. Have you heard about the Bluebird Index on Binance? I think that's the one with the projects that's that has exposure to Twitter, something like that. That's what it sounds like. I remember hearing something like that, but I'm not sure if that's actually the thing. I was one of the first Fidelity retail crypto customers getting all the update email. Congratulations. So tell us how it's been so far. I know it's just Bitcoin and Ethereum. Do you get your own wallet? Can you withdraw? Or is it kind of like locked in right now? But it sounds very interesting. Chaos Ring says, your educational XRP video is all I think about. Well, I'm glad. Because I don't play very often. And when I do, it's only for special occasions. So, I don't know who you're talking about. Are you just trolling or I have no idea who you're talking about. Yeah, Mass, BNB, Doge. Yeah, this is the reason why people keep asking about Mass Network. So that's the reason why it pumped and people keep asking about it. I don't think any of those things have anything to do with Twitter, honestly. Doge does, but BNB, I don't see any connection there, nor Mass. Mass actually is a project that's already doing stuff on Twitter. They're creating dApps on Twitter. So people think, or at least through that Binance thing, thinks that Mass is going to be integrated in Twitter somehow, right? It could happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Elon is working on custom stuff that's only going to use Doge. So that's why I think Doge will be carried by Elon. But about everything else, I don't think so. What about that Russian crypto billionaire that was killed? I mean, died in a helicopter accident. He's like the third person that just somehow mysteriously died recently. Is the BTC lost forever? It depends on if he gave it to his wife or not. Okay. Happy birthday, Quackman. Again, that sounds like you're trolling me, but I'll say it in case it's not. It's Coinbase wallet. Yes, Mike, I did clarify that. I even put it in the title, but I do think there's a reason for this. It's not just due to low activity, okay? And it doesn't make sense that Coinbase would sell or allow you to trade a lot of these coins that are not supported on the wallet anymore. So I think there's more to this story than oh, just low activity. There's something else that's going on that they know and they are not sharing right now. The Munchie Chronicles, you have to rewind. We're in the Q&A section right now. Anyways, I'll let you guys go. Overall, we got a little boost today. That's good. Brazil seems like they want to fully embrace Bitcoin soon. as a payment solution, that's awesome. Of course, Bitcoin is oversold, severely oversold. And we got some macro stuff to look forward to too. So any one of these three things, or maybe all of these things, are driving Bitcoin a little bit higher. That's what we want to see as we enter December. We definitely want to see some momentum, right? But tomorrow will be a big day. FTX, SBF will be speaking. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. All eyes will be on him. All right, so tune in tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one, guys. And by the way, I did promise you guys this. The most educational XRP/Ripple video ever created is being played by me right now.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.